Hey, it's JC Toad. Yep, so I just built this. This is a couple years ago at least now. Somebody was throwing out this whole like pond garden feature thing. They had to break it in pieces. There was tons of it on the curb. And so I got a truckload full of it, unloaded it, and by the time I came back, the garbage man had picked up a bunch more. So that's all I got out of that. Somewhere along the way, I picked up this kiddie pool. And then that old tire down there, that came out of the storage unit. So that's kind of just there propping it up for right now. But it's kind of realistic because like every river, you find an old tire in it, you know. This guy here I bought over at Ollie's Bargains like a month ago or so. And so he normally sits like in a flower pot thing and the pump pumps the water up. So I just kind of threw him on top of this. So then he's got his own little pump that's down inside here. And then this guy over here, I ordered this from China a while ago. This is like an ultrasonic humidifier, more or less. Okay, so he's got the LEDs on it, and that little U-shaped thing is the ultrasonic dew-jobber for it, I think. And then you got a diaphragm in the middle. There's like a crystal driving that diaphragm, which actually, I take it back. That's a resistor. I believe that's a resistor or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, you got the crystal driving, the ultrasonic is driving that crystal. And so it just gives you a little water shooting up there, and you see the mist that comes out of it. So it's not too windy right now, so it's kind of hanging around a little bit. But at night, this should be really, really cool because you're going to have the LEDs down there. And the LEDs, if you can't really notice it, they're like changing colors and sequence and stuff. So anyway, that's going to make all that misty stuff glow. So it should just fall right down here into the bottom of the pool. We're going to go do the river in a little while, so I'm going to go down and get a whole bunch of gravel and rocks and stuff from down there near the takeout. And so I'll put gravel in the bottom of this thing. If I can find some aquatic plants too, I might bring those with me as well. This guy back here, I found him in the trash a couple weeks ago. So it's like, it gets buried in the ground. It's for controlling the sprinkler systems. But we got lots of storms floating around the area right now. So what I just did is made a little box. We've got in here our main cord coming in. And then we got 120 volts that powers the one pump for this guy here. And then we got 120 volts going into this guy over here, which is powering our little mister guy. And then I got a battery charger in here, which is actually powering a bilge pump. This bilge pump, which is down here, 12 volt DC, and I use him for pumping out the backyard when we get tons of water flooding the backyard. So that's like 500 gallon per hour pump. Now this whole water feature already had this hose here and the T-fittings and the two lines. So we got one comes out here and the other one coming out there. And this is beaver log, because we were in the river one day and we saw a beaver, and then we're going down the river, go, hey, there's another beaver. And we got close to it. It turns out it was just a log bopping down the river. So I took the log home with me, and so beaver log has been here being a deadbeat for months now. So now I'm putting him to work because he is actually just kind of supporting this, because this was down a little bit further earlier today. And so the water actually flowed over the backside of this and over the backside of this here. I think it did in both places. Anyway, it was tilted downward at more of an angle. So the water came trickling over this side here and hit this, and most of it ran back in, but some of it was running out, so you'd lose all your water in the pond. So I had to crank it up. But in the future, what I'm going to do is move the whole thing forward a little bit so the water stays inside the pool. And because this is more or less designed to be put up against a wall or something like that. The location I have it, it's a full 360. So here we're going to have the main waterfall in the front, and we'll have like a small waterfall in the back also here. This section here, I kind of close this off. What I'm going to do is use like grate stuff, because this is pretty much what this is. It's more like minimal expanding foam. Just once I get the shape that I want, I'll take the grate stuff and like just shoot it in between the cracks. Kind of scrape it off, clean it up a little bit, get a little artistic with it, and once she's all cured, then I'll come through and airbrush this whole thing and make it look however I want it to look, like some kind of sedimentary rock. So it took me a couple years of planning or so, and when I got down to it, within an hour I had the prototype up and running already. I do have a couple things that I got somewhere, like for $1 or something. I forget where they were at, Home Depot or a dollar store, and they're little like fountain things, they're little trumpets that come up like this, and so water pumps up through there and then it spreads out in every direction. So they're really cool looking. It may be a little bit too large for this fountain possibly, but yeah, it comes up and it produces like a big like mushroom of water basically. They're pretty cool, but they're in the garage somewhere. I'll have to find them. So I've been replanting a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's like the 3rd of September, so yeah, I'm doing really good because I'm finally getting my flowers planted in September. And this was the arrangement we have for my mom's memorial. It's still doing good. Keeping her watered out here. The one mum, he's over there. See, I had a mum in there, which was blooming, and now it's to the point where all the buds are gone, but it's got new buds coming up. Directly replaced it with this mum that I bought at Aldi for $3, so that's doing well. And these guys I got from Krista, they're doing quite well. So yeah, I'm kind of digging this thing, man. It'll all get torn down and rebuilt probably next year. I'll probably move it further over, because partly the reason why it's so close to the log, because the log's kind of there to help support it in a way. But once I put it all together with a bunch of great stuff and everything, it'll be solid as a rock and totally freestanding then. And I kind of figure, yeah, I'll just go kind of natural and just put a bunch of natural river rocks that we'll get today, put that in the bottom of the pool here. The pool will be better too, because right now it's at an angle, so it's not even leveled out, so there's a lot, it's almost overflowing in the back end of the pool there. But for something that pretty much all together I think has cost me like, well, the big egg thing, I think that was like $10 for the egg, and I think I spent $10 for the pump on Amazon. And then you get the little Mr. guy, he was like less than $10. So probably all together I've got like $25 into this. And the Bills pump is being used normally in the springtime for pumping out water in the backyard. It's a bigger pump than what I need. I can go with a smaller pump than that. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good investment. It'll cost me $5 or something like that for a can of great stuff. So if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Bye.